Have you ever wanted to bring your dog or cat to work with you? I'm going to go ahead and explain why it's not actually just a good idea for you, but also a good idea for your pet. There are a lot more benefits to both parties than you might think there are. Despite what a lot of people think, it's not just the idea of people who are bored at work or hate their jobs. Harvard University did a big study, and that showed that people who brought dogs specifically to work are a lot more productive in their normal workflow, as well as they had mental health benefits from it as well, which I guess isn't surprising. Who doesn't love dogs, aside from maybe if you're allergic? So no one really likes to work, especially right now. It's gotten to be a very big hassle. A lot of people don't like their jobs. They just go there to get a paycheck. It's nothing very enjoyable. But if we start bringing our animals to work, mainly dogs and cats, I think it would be a very big benefit to the workforce. A lot of people, would be a lot more motivated to go into work, show up, interact with coworkers, and get the jobs done if they had their furry friends with them. And again, can't stress enough, really help their mental health image along with it. I think a lot of us saw during lockdown how much motivation our pets could give us. Through the Zoom calls and everything, everyone had the odd dog or cat that would show up and really brighten up the workplace, if you will, in a digital sense. It also brought a lot more happiness during a time where there wasn't that much to look forward to during quarantine. In a workplace like there would be now, where people are back in the office, it does present a number of challenges, mainly having to do with allergies, but it's nothing that can't be solved, because there are already a couple companies, which we'll get into a little bit later, that have implemented this, and there are separate locations for the animals to be at. But same thing with animal waste, they have to use the bathroom just like any of us do, so easy situation, have a little area for them to do their business in and take them back in. A lot of younger people these days aren't exactly thrilled with the prospect of going to work for 40 years, only so that they can not even afford a place to live. And I think it's causing a lot of unrest, and a lot of younger people just don't want to work altogether. So if companies were to be more willing to implement ideas like this, I think younger people would have a much easier time in the workplace and be a lot more driven, especially, when choosing where to work. Like I said previously, some companies that have already implemented this idea, Amazon, Meta, Google, Petco, rather unsurprisingly, do allow at certain locations, but they are expanding it, for animals to come to the workplace with their owners, and every single one of them has reported that they have seen increased productivity from their employees at the locations where they can bring animals. Obviously, there are certain areas where it's just not feasible, warehouse workers, some construction jobs, but it's not necessarily that I'm buying for every job, just the ones that can. Mainly office workers, I think, is where you'd see the biggest benefit from allowing animals in the workplace. So the big thing we need to make sure of is that these companies understand that younger people do want their animals in the workplace, and understand that it's not some silly thing where we're bringing snakes and tarantulas and scorpions into the offices, but just dogs and cats, have separate areas for people who do want to bring their animals, and separate people who may have allergies or just don't want to associate with that. And I think it would be a very big benefit for these companies to get some more, new blood of employees, and the employees to have better mental health. Just keep in mind, imagine how much fun you'd have at work, wherever you're working now, if you could bring your dog or cat with you, maybe even a parrot, to work with you, and how much more relaxed, less stressed it would be, and how much your mental health might improve from it. And keep in mind, it's not just you, it's also the company that you work for that would be benefiting from the result of you being allowed to bring your animal into the office.